Today we're going to explore what value older divorced women who can no longer have kids. I'm talking about a woman over the age of 40, 45 years old, still looks good. What does she offer a man? What value does she have? And, you know, I've beaten these subjects a few times before, but the problem we keep seeing is older women and their overinflated egos who really think that they still have the same value that they had back in their 20s. They still have it today. And I saw it clearly demonstrated here on this segment on the Whatever podcast. But Andrew came back very strong with a couple of older women on the platform. Look good for their age. But I think this is the first time I've actually seen him really go hardcore into what every single man is thinking and what to say. He asked the woman the pertinent questions. And gentlemen, I know that these are the same things that you want to ask these older women, so I think you're going to really enjoy this segment. Okay, hit the like button, my friends. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into this segment with Brian, and this one is called Andrew Wilson Calls Out All the BS from Modern Women, the Whatever Dating podcast. This is one of their clips. Let's do it.
I think, and this is due to practical experience, of course, I don't have enough data to make this claim as being something which is solid, but this is just from kind of a mixture of anecdote and then what I perceive. Men will go through absolute hell on earth in order to take care of their women and their family if they just have this kind of minimum threshold which is given to them. And the thing is that there's so much willfulness. It's almost like what happens is if you give somebody too much, they just begin to expect more and more and more. And I think that this is what has happened in modernity with women, is that even kind of these basic things, like the idea that Brian says, well, I'd like a woman to bow after I get out of the and I go up with coal all over my face, and I just brought home $200,000 this year. This can't make some noodles for me? What the fuck? That's the thing, right? It's like, it's a legitimate criticism in many ways, because what's really being said here is like, look at everything I'm bringing to the table. And I every day, day in, day out, and I don't complain, I don't bitch, I don't whine, and I ask for such a small amount, and even then we have to quibble about it. And that's really what that's about, right? The bow has nothing to do with anything other than just show me that I actually matter.
Yeah. So what he's referring to was a question that was posed to the panel earlier where Brian asked, hey, what would it take for you to bow to a man? Pretty much to submit to a man. And all of these young women and pretty much the whole panel is saying, well, he needs to be a multimillionaire. Oh, he needs to make 10 million. Oh, he needs to be a billionaire. I mean, some outrageous bullshit.
You bow for a really good guy.
For a billionaire, yeah.
Not a millionaire, though? Like a guy who made $1 million a year?
No.
You wouldn't bow?
$1 million cannot do that much.
I would bow for a billionaires, like probably like a billionaire, but not like a good, not like a just a.
What about
like
a millionaire?
A good guy. Millionaire, I mean, like how much?
$1 million a year. He makes $1 million a year. $1 million a year. I know it's not
probably
very
not.
much. Probably not.
No.
What's the threshold? $5 million?
Or like 10?
10 mil a year.
10 mil?
You'll do a bow.
Yeah, I'd be submissive and bow.
But not for 5 mil?
No.
7 mil?
No.
It's got to be 8 figures a year for you.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? Would you bow for a good man?
I would not. Well, it depends. If they pay me a lot, like per bow, then we can probably charge like $10K per bow. Then I would.
Bruh.
And this is what we're seeing with modern women. The minimum requirements for her to be a mother, the expectations and the requirement that she's putting on the man to actually be submissive to him, even though she wants a leader, even though the sisterhood has fed her so much bullshit that she needs to respond with an outrageous answer. He needs to be a millionaire before I submit to him. Well, did you have any other millionaires that you submitted to before when you bust your legs open? You know that actually opening your legs to another man is a form of submission? You are in the most submissive position when you open your legs. When you throw your ass in the air and turn your back to him, you have submitted to him. When you lie on your back and put your legs open, you have submitted to him. So it's obvious that you have submitted to many men in the past. But now when he asks you to freaking go to the kitchen and make me a freaking sandwich just because you don't like his tone, but he's paying all the bills, you're going to have a problem with that. You just make that shit make sense. Please. Make that shit make sense. So the delusional requirements that women put on their men and actually get out here in the freaking public and announce this makes them just look stupid. Because the single question that Andrew or Brian never asked in this particular podcast was, well, have you not submitted to men in the past? And I'm sure that all of them would have said, no, I've never submitted to men. Well, didn't you open your legs to a man? Did you not have a kid for a man? That is submission. Blows my mind every freaking time. Let me know, you guys, gentlemen, let me know if I'm wrong. When are you in the most submissive position? When you open yourself up. Not only to a child or her womb, submitting her womb, submitting herself to diseases, submitting herself to physical harm. There's a lot. She's literally submitting herself to a man when she opens herself to him. Women don't take this into consideration. She submits and she receives the man. Receiving. That's why they feel so violated when it's taken without permission. That's why grape is such a nasty feeling, because she's done it without her submission. Think, ladies. But, he's gone too far if he asked me to make him a sandwich. Yep, asinine, dumb thinking.
And that all of modernity, which kisses women's asses, even though it's built on the backs of men, that you actually respect the fact that that's done. And that's all that's really being asked. And so I almost wonder if even this is the wrong way to look at it, right? The way that Brian looks at it. I think that women should be fucking grateful. They should be grateful. They live in the best society ever, and it's all built on the backs of not them. The air conditioning, which enables them to even exist, everything which allows them to exist in modernity is built by men, and they're the most ungrateful, snot-nosed brats about it that you've ever seen. And there's really no cause for it because they bring nothing to the table, none of them, including the old bags here who bring nothing to the table by their own admission except their pussy. And that, to me, is why, and when asked, this is all you get. I bring love and affection. You don't bring shit to the table. And that's why you can't even answer the damn question, no matter how many times we ask it. And it makes me sick because that is modernity.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Oh, yeah. I think after a while of hearing this over and over and over and over again for years, me for 3 years since I've been doing this shit. And then prior to doing all of this, I've been watching these videos. Prior for 5 years at least. It's the same freaking story. And so I'm sure that Brian and Andrew, who have to listen to these women, and they're all the freaking same. It's the same bloody story we get from every single one of these women. It's the same shit. They're all the same. So I can understand how a man like him, who's usually pretty reserved, just has to come out and just say it blatantly. These old bags that are freaking on the channel who are demanding top-tier men for freaking geriatric punani. Yeah, that's what they're freaking offering. Dried up, premenopausal punani for what? Now let's just listen to how these women respond. This is for me, listening to them is like listening to somebody draw their fingernails across a chalkboard. This one irked me today. I'm telling you, man.
Well, first of all, I don't know if that is being addressed to Asia and I or being addressed to women in general, but you did point us out. However, you have no clue, like...
Good. What do you bring to the table besides your vagina? Give me a real example. If you want a man to take care of you for the rest of your life, what do you bring to the table except your vagina and a bunch of baggage?
I'm bringing a lot. Like I said earlier, if you're listening.
Well, let's start with the baggage you bring, and then we'll move on to the awesome stuff you bring. Let's start with the baggage.
Donated $100. Wilson, well said.
All right. Thank you, negative 100. He wants
Let's start with the baggage first.
Okay, my baggage personally?
Yeah.
Well, I have 3 kids. I was in a marriage for 20 years. And basically that's it. I'm
that's
single
it?
now.
Do you realize how monumental what you just said was, that you have 3 children and most of your life was taken by another man for 20 years? You can't give another man children? What are you bringing to the table, really?
I've never dated a man anyways that wants more children. And second of all, I'm not looking for a man to marry. I would like to have a companion. And if I do find the right man, I'll marry again. However, I'm not out there searching for a man to care for me.
You're not. She is.
And it's always bullshit. This is the dumbass excuse they all come up with when they know that they have nothing else to offer. All she has to say to actually save face, to be honest, all I'm offering is good companionship. I don't need the man to take care of my 3 kids. But she can't even say that because she knows she'd be lying. Because she knows that man has to put in some money into those 3 kids. Because it's probably obvious that 2 of them at least are below the age of 18. But instead of freaking saving face, well, I don't need a man. You want that. There's no way that you're going to be okay out there with 3 kids trying to get through life on a daily basis unless you are married to a multimillionaire that is sending you checks and checks enough to make you have a comfortable life. You need a freaking man. Why? Because I'm a man with 2 kids. And I know if my wife had to be on her own, there's no way that she could have been able to handle 2 kids and a job and put away something for her future when she's old enough where she can't work anymore. This is where a lot of you blind-ass women do not freaking see. You are not just living for today. You have to actually live for your future. Because there will be a time where you will no longer have the energy to work, where they will be firing your old ass, and I'm talking about 50, 55, where your income will start to drop significantly. And if you don't have something else that will sustain you, your job will get rid of you because no one wants an old woman to work for them. No one wants an older woman working for them. You age out of the job market. So, you age out of the job market and you have no investments or no money put away for that time period. What happens then? And you weren't able to put it away because you never had any disposable or discretionary income because you were spending it on yourself and those kids. So now you're 55, 56, 57. You've lost your job. Many women out there like that in this position right now. You have put nothing away. And you're going to be expected to live to around 80. So you got probably another 25 years left where every day you're going to be freaking broke. That, my friend, is the cold hard reality. I know this very well because I'm at that age now where I'm watching a lot of these women who have not put anything away, who have made themselves single, left their happy marriages, divorced their husband, or have never gotten serious with a man and now they're in their 40s and no man wants them. Ladies, you got to wake the fuck up, man. Seriously. You all still act like freaking teenagers way into your 40s.
But if you're not, then what else are you bringing to the relationship besides, again, just your vagina, really? Like, what are you really bringing to a man that he's just really going to desire? What makes you so special that you stand out besides this one attribute? Honestly.
Honestly, I'm going to say I'm a great cook, great cleaner. I know how to communicate well. And I know how to please a man.
Yeah, and the men that you end up with have to be exceptional. They have to be exceptional in their field or they can't bring home the kind of money which would be required to take care of you and whatever the graduation gifts for your kids are.
Well,
whatever
first of all, no.
whatever the things are which are necessary to move over to the resources to your children, your offspring, right?
I've dated men that make less money than me, and I never had a problem with that at all.
Well, you're not with them for a reason, right?
I love when Andrew hold their feet to the fire, man, because this is the same bullshit you hear from each and every single one of them. I dated, like this was some participation trophy that she needs. Well, I used to date a guy that made less than me. I used to date a guy that didn't make a lot of money. I've never heard any of these women say, I am currently dating a man that makes less than me. I am currently in a happy relationship with a man who makes none of these freaking podcasts. I've always heard the same shit. I used to. I'm sick of you ladies lying about the quality of men that you can attract. Because nowhere in the equation that you have ever said, hey, I was married to a multi-millionaire and now I want another one. Because those women never end up on podcasts. They usually freaking end up on a yacht usually. Or if they do end up on a podcast, it's because they spend all the money already. Oh, Lord. Trust me, man, this gets tiring just listening to women and trying to bullshit their way through life. And I love these type of podcasts because it just reveals the nasty part of female nature. And listen, I don't like having to do these type of videos every day, but I'm forced to do them because men have to understand female nature. I would love to do more happy videos on marriages, etc., etc. But most of the men who are watching me are not married. I'm trying to help them get into marriages. I would love to be able to recommend women for them to get married to, but I haven't found any that are eligible, to be honest with you. I have quite a few women now who are sending me resumes, portfolios, looking for a man. But when you break it down, man, there's not a lot of good ones out there. Just so you know, gentlemen, there are women who do send me their portfolios. And for ladies, if you want to, please, ladies, send me some portfolios if you're looking for a good man. But to be honest with you, I really would not encourage you to send them to me if you're a single mom. No, I cannot recommend a single mother to a man. As bad as it freaking sounds, yes. Unless I start to get men who send me applications who say, yeah, man, listen, I will look at a single mother. But I haven't had any of those men yet. And the reason I haven't marketed or advertised this is because I don't want this to be a dating show. Understand? But I do get quite a few people who do send in their portfolios, resumes. I don't know what the hell you would call it. But portfolio. You know, some pictures and who they are, education, height, weight, just so that I can keep them on file. So if you want to do that, my friends, send them in, okay? But better yet, I would actually just join our membership site on School, SKOOL. I'll put the label here so that you can join over there and, you know, put the feelers out, man. Okay, let's listen to what else Andrew has to say here.
Well, it had nothing to do with financials.
Sure, I'm sure it didn't. It just happened to be a happenstance that they made less than you and you're still not with them, right?
Had nothing to do with the reason why we're not together, honestly.
Oh. Okay. I believe you. But in any case, no, I don't really see much in the way of attributes. I don't think that either of you are particularly stunning. I don't think you're particularly funny. I don't think you're particularly engaging. And if you can cook and clean, great. So can all of the 20-year-old girls who are sitting there right next to you, all of them. So what exactly are you bringing that's so monumental that offsets the baggage to age to a relationship why somebody should pick you? That's the question. And it's not even to be mean. It should just be pointed. It should just point out something that's obvious to men and that women just kind of pretend doesn't exist.
Well, you can ask that question to anybody, man or woman, right?
You can, and that's why I'm asking it to you.
Yeah, well, friendship, if you find the right match with the right person, friendship, quality, personality, companionship, someone that you can laugh with, someone that you can share stories with.
Yeah, they can do all that with a 25-year-old.
Daily activities with and have fun with.
They can do all that with a 25-year-old.
Yeah, those wealthy men that they're looking for can do that with a 25-year-old and they got choices. They can do it with multiple 25-year-olds without getting married. But here's all the part that she's missing. She can do that with an average guy. Ta-da! She can do that with an average freaking guy. Everything she mentioned. Why is it that she wants a high-value man making over 6 figures? Usually that's a busy man. That's not a man that's going to sit around doing shit all day, being for companionship. No.
But you know
that's my point, though. It's like, so what do you really bring into the table?
Well, I can
That's
say
so
the same
great,
thing. I could date a younger guy, but I choose not to. Because you're not on the same page, like mentally,
well,
emotionally.
hang on. You can fuck a younger guy. That doesn't mean he's going to marry you.
True.
Yeah, and that's most older women have this experience. Yeah, younger men will bang them, but they ain't going to marry them, and they ain't going to be with them long term. You can't give them kids, and so they end up dumping you. That's what happens. In fact, this gal next to you said she had that very experience. She dated a younger man, and he decided, I actually want kids, and you can't give them to me. These are some big, that's all, by the way, all of that is baggage, all of it. You can't give them kids, that's baggage. If you have kids, that's baggage. If you XYZ, that's all baggage. It's not just, I have an ex-husband and I have 3 children. It's, I'm older, that's baggage 1. It's, I have 3 children, that's baggage 2. I can't give you children, that's more baggage. All of this is baggage.
Everybody has baggage at a certain age, and that's why I feel like, for me personally, I like to date guys my age, because we probably have equal amounts of baggage, right? I'm not going to be unrealistic and date somebody that's a lot younger than me, that's going to view me as an older person with a lot of baggage.
Women bring baggage, men bring experience. The reason I say it like that is because if a man with kids enters into another woman's life, usually the mother from his previous marriage, she gets access to the kids. So his existing lover rarely have to put up with the kid on a regular basis. Usually every other weekend, yes. Most of the time, he's spending that time, or she's spending that time with daddy. He don't need her to be around then, okay? The only time it might be some baggage is the fact that his ex-wife is a nightmare and she's jealous of the other woman. Well, in this case, it wouldn't be a younger woman, so more than likely they'll probably get along, okay? So the reality of it is men don't bring baggage because she don't have the burden of performance for him and this marriage. She don't have to freaking provide the money for him and his child. She don't even usually have to cook for his kids. Most men at that age would have bigger kids, teenagers, because the man that's going to want her in her 40s, that's going to be a 50-year-old man. And that 50-year-old man would have already had teenagers. So there's no real baggage, lady. So stop pretending like it's men and women are the same. You get no burden from that man, especially if he's a high-value man. You don't get shit. You don't have to do shit. If he's an average guy, what do? You might have to put 1 extra plate on the table. If they have a room that they sleep in when they come in, the father will make sure that room is clean, so you don't even have to clean that room. The father should make sure that child don't even leave anything hanging around or be a nuisance to his existing family. That's what all good men would do. So there's no freaking baggage. Cut it out. Women like to come with this equivalent. We're just as equal as men in the baggage. No, you don't freaking have any baggage. Men have all the baggage when you bring your kids to stay with him and expect him to protect and provide for those kids. That is not expected of you. Not even the nurturing part. You don't even get that responsibility at this age. So stop it. Let's hear what Andrew says. Let's see if he's going to pick up on the same things I picked up on.
Men your age, in comparison to you, are going to be highly pursued by almost all women in your age bracket. Most of them, because they've accrued a ton of resources. So your dating competition's even higher in your age bracket, I would argue, than in the 20s, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's harder to
so,
date
I mean,
the
the
older
thing
you
is
get.
you have to be exceptional in your age bracket to net these men. Because for one thing, their libido is way down, right? They're not necessarily just looking at you for sex like a lot of the younger men would be. And so that's one of the big netting points that women have. I'm young and beautiful, and all these men want to bang me. And that's a big netting point, a big selling point. Men in your age bracket, their libido goes significantly down. Now you got to actually bring something to the table. That's why women in your age bracket have such a hard time netting a good quality man, right? Am I wrong?
No, I hear you. And our dating pool is so much smaller than when we were
Way
younger.
smaller. Yeah, way
so
smaller.
So there's slim pickings.
Slim,
on both sides,
slim
men and women.
So that's why it's not. I'm not asking these questions to be mean or cruel to you. I'm asking them pointedly because I understand that in your age bracket, the dating market's even more vicious in many cases than it is for younger people. Your options are way slimmer, and you have to be exceptional to stand out to men who don't just value you for your vagina, which younger men do.
Right.
And so when I ask these questions, what do you bring to the table? That's what I'm asking it for. So what do you, now that you understand, what do you bring to the table?
I just told you earlier.
You know, I love how he just brought the conversation back to a state where he's making her know, listen, man, I'm not being this harsh for you to identify me as an asshole. Making this conversation hard and brutal just so I could be mean. I'm trying to point out something to you. I'm trying to point out how men think. Because women just don't confront these issues head on. But men do. We think about these things in the most logical sense. And we know that once you reach 45, 50, your income is peaking and all the gold diggers are going to freaking come out of the woodworks. And you have choices, gentlemen. If you got your money up and your body is still peaking at that point, you have a lot of options. You just got to get yourself out there. That's what most men don't do. They don't put themselves back out there. You got to still make yourself available. You can't just keep going from the office home or to work all the time and not making yourself available. That's the thing. Most of us actually get tired. You don't got no freaking time and effort to put into finding a woman. You prefer to spend that time doing something else. But I can tell you, Andrew's right. Once you hit your 50s, man, once you hit 45, 47, 40, they will come out of the woodworks like you wouldn't believe. You got the divorcees, you got the women who are hitting the wall, and you have the young girls, gold diggers. All three of these groups are coming for you. Keep yourself in good shape, you have no problem. Let's hear what else she has to say.
Go ahead and tell me again.
Friendship. Good personality, someone to talk to, someone to support. I would definitely support him emotionally. Good conversation, a buddy to go places with, to travel, to hang out with,
and what makes those qualities
stay up at late nights.
Sure. What makes those qualities exceptional in comparison to other women in your same age bracket?
I'm a good listener, and I'm down to earth. I'm not fake or phony.
Okay.
Wait.
All right.
Do you have fake titties?
I'm not fake or phony on the inside.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Well, didn't you just hear him? Our dating pool is slim and picking, so we got to be above and beyond, right?
But you said you're not fake, but...
I'm talking personality-wise, internally.
Sorry.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Sorry.
I'm going to end it on that note. That was hilarious. Oh, man. Yeah, pretty much a lot of these women full of Botox, silicone titties. Some of them have the BBLs. I'm hoping that these are not that type that have gone so far with the BBLs. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these women, when they reach this age, they're going to get the lip fillers, the freaking Botox, the copious amount of freaking makeup. And, the titty lifts, everything is going to she got to try to make herself as attractive as possible. Otherwise, she don't stand a chance in the dating market. So anyway, gentlemen, I think I'm going to lock it off there. I'm putting the link to this video in the description. And of course, and I will pin it at the top of the comment section. So you guys can go there and watch the rest of it. There's a bit more and it's just as hilarious. Okay? So my friends, listen, subscribe, like the video on the way out, and of course, check in the description of my video and pick up one of my digital products. Oh, on a last note, those of you who had asked for the domestic agreement, if you want to cohabitate with a woman and you wanted that domestic agreement, I hope all of you have now gotten your copy. I've sent it out to every single one of you. 138 copies of that document went out. 2 days ago, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I started just sending them out one by one. Gentlemen, please use that document. Get your woman to sign it. Protect yourself at all times. If you still want a copy, or if you haven't seen that video, and you want a lawyer-created domestic agreement where you and another woman want to live together, but you want to protect yourself, even if you want to have kids, the agreement is pretty straightforward, laid out in perfect legalese. If you want a copy of it, send me an email, paul@askanolderman.com. paul@askanolderman.com. All right, gentlemen, I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. See you soon. Cheers.